Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV, More Than Meets the Third Eye. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur. Okay, so as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and hit that like button. Okay, hit the like button. And so let's get ready to get into it. Shalavitz is in the house. Juju, Melanin A1, that Crazy Beach Aries, Mr. Hotel. Okay, Kathy B. That I already said Crazy Beach Aries. Okay, so with that all being said, listen, I'm sorry for being late. All right, I'm sorry for being late. You all that were on the other channel, you already know that I just finished up a live over there impromptu. Okay, so let's get into it. Mr. Hotel says, shout out to our esoteric philosopher. Thank you, beloved. You know I try. Okay, so listen. Hey, Tia, Khalid, Herleem. Okay, so listen, you guys. We're going to talk about spiritual healing. Now, if you recall, just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I talked to you all about spiritual healing. But today it's going to be a different conversation about it. We're going to talk about the powerful benefits of it and different things that it can be used for. Okay. We talked about some other things about it 2 or 3 weeks ago, but this is some new information. All right. And then after that, I'm going to show you some things to avoid. Okay. When certain people are telling you that they can heal you spiritually, that they have information and downloads, you cannot always believe these people. And in fact, if you engage them, very often you can become sick, spiritually sick, mentally sick, all right, soul sick, and physically. All right, pay attention. And so we're going to talk about it. Queen, you doing the most today, says that crazy. Juju said the queen is queening. Thank you, beloved. Y'all are too much. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to pull up this PowerPoint presentation and we're going to get into it. Okay? Miss Hotel talking about teach me, queen. Okay, here we go. Get those likes up, beloveds. Get the likes up. This is a members only presentation. Here we go. Make sure you all can see that. Okay. The powerful benefits of spiritual healing. Now, spiritual healing is a form of alternative therapy in which the healer uses spiritual power to manipulate the energy of the person that's being healed. Spiritually healing services can be used in conjunction with other forms of healing. It also helps you cope better with your everyday problems. You see, used in conjunction with other forms of healing, such as reflexology. For those of you who have been members since I started the memberships, you may remember the video that I showed you all about reflexology. Okay, that's a spiritual healing regimen that you can use along with your meditation, with your visualization, with your burning your sage, and just different things like that. Reflexology is a spiritual healing. It's a holistic, type of healing that you don't have to go to the hospital for. You can get with a reflexology practitioner. Okay. And then yesterday, you saw the video that I posted, part 1. Part 2 is going to be aired today at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so please don't miss that. But you saw the video that I posted about self-hypnosis. That is also a form of spiritual healing. You see, when you practice the art of self-hypnosis, you can make your mind, you can reprogram your mind. So let's say, for example, if you are eating too much sweets, too much sugary things, through self-hypnosis, you can actually program yourself to view sugar with disgust. So that anytime you see something that looks sugary sweet, you don't have a desire to have any of it. You loathe it. Okay. It turns your stomach. You can actually do that if you become successful at the art of self-hypnosis. Okay. It's a form of mesmerism, which comes from the man named Franz Mesmer, who came up with that whole thing. Okay. That's why it's called mesmerism. So anyway, you can practice that. Also, to be used in conjunction with spiritual healing, because to spiritually heal oneself is to heal not only the mind, not only change your way of thinking, to heal your mental state, but also to start changing the things that you put into your body, healthy foods, high vibrational foods, fresh foods, not toxins, GMOs, things that are high in cholesterol and sodium, things that sicken the body and cause dis-ease, not those things. But your spiritual healing comes from not only the things that you start to say about yourself, or the things that you start to think about yourself, or the different practices that you engage in, but it also comes from the things that you intake. It gives you happiness and enables you to cope better with life's ups and downs. This is what spiritual healing can do for you. You can use it to increase your love life, help you achieve a balanced state of mind, help you overcome depression, and even improve your health in some cases. Now, the healing process may vary from one healer to another, but the end goal is always the same: to help people cope better with their lives. The benefits of spiritual healing are numerous. Frequent practice increases the strength. It's just like when you go to the gym and you work out, 4 and 5 times a week, and you start noticing your muscles get bigger and bigger and stronger. That's what happens with your spirituality. Okay, with your ability to spiritually heal yourself, you becoming more spiritually in tune. All of this is strengthened over time the more you practice it, but you have to be consistent. You can't just be doing it for a month or so, or for a couple of weeks, and then you fall off the bandwagon, and then you pick back up, and then you think it's going to be more improved. No, you're going to have to start over again. You start back from square one. Okay, but you have to be consistent, and that takes dedication, determination, and it takes you being disciplined. It can prevent or cure depression. When you feel depressed, you can feel like there is no hope. There's no hope, or no way of getting out of the rut that you're in. You may think that the way you feel will last for the rest of your life, or you may think about ending yours. To amplify the effects of therapy, self-help, and medication, consider spiritual healing. See, don't discard those things, not saying that, but just add it in conjunction with those things. If you're someone who's seeing a therapist, getting counseling for your mental health, that's fine. But do these positive things to help with that, to be used in conjunction, so that the process is quicker and it is long lasting, rather than just something that you do for a while and then you fall back into your old negative patterns of thoughts and behaviors. Spiritual healing is the practice of prayer and meditation to heal yourself spiritually and physically. It is easier to work on your emotional faults under spiritually healed circumstances. The chances of knowing peace again increase then on. A spirituality can reduce, I'm not going to say that word because it triggers the algorithm, and then YouTube will be sending me an email asking me if I'm thinking about doing that to myself. But you see what it says. Can spirituality reduce the idea of self-destruction, someone wanting to end their own life? Okay. No matter how desperate a situation may seem, ending it is never the answer, because when you do that, what you're in fact doing is you're taking a permanent solution to a temporary problems. Because remember, troubles don't last always. Okay, they say joy cometh in the morning. You see, with each new day that the sun rises and you awaken, you have a chance to start anew. Just because things were bad yesterday, you could have been down on your knees in the dirt, crying, head bowed, and brokenhearted, ashamed, or whatever. But the next day, if not the next day, the next day, as days go on and time progresses, you slowly will start to feel better if you just give yourself the time. But some people don't have the time. They look at a situation that's temporary as though it's permanent, as though this is the end all be all. This is just what it is. And then they just want to give up. That's never the answer or solution. But many victims who do these things to themselves, who take their own lives, don't see another way out of their problems. And that's where spirituality can help. The benefits of spirituality healing are rooted, or spiritual healing are rooted in its focus on here and now. A person who views every situation as part of a larger plan can better cope with life's setbacks, which often appear overwhelming if they're viewed in a purely physical light. Spiritual healing can help you see beyond the immediate pain. which is important. This is important when contemplating ending one's life. You see, people who have undergone spiritual healing have learned to accept themselves for who they are, not to shame their flaws or inadequacies, and to live in peace with the world around them. They've learned not to shame their flaws. Here's the thing. You know how I tell you all, you don't listen to what the naysayers say, the people who don't mean you well, when they're criticizing you, critiquing you, and trying to talk down on you. You don't worry about that. When you become a spiritual person and you're high vibrational and you know who you are, have knowledge of self, what other people say will just roll off your shoulders. You will pay them no attention. Just like I tell you all, when the Bussy Ricans are trying to come for me, trying to insult me, that stuff doesn't bother me. In fact, I laugh at them because it's funny. Because people who hate on you, they want to see you looking downtrodden. They want to see you miserable and sad and crying and, just hurt or angry, because all of those are low vibrational emotions. Misery, gloom, doom, depression, sadness, anger, hate, those are all low vibrational. Fear, all low vibrational. So they want you to stoop to their level. And I bet you when you were a child or when you were a teenager and you heard someone say, well, I'm not going to stoop to your level, you probably didn't know exactly what they meant, but that's what they're talking about. Okay? Your level of frequency, your level of vibration. Maybe even the person whom you heard say it didn't even realize what they were talking about, but that's where that comes from. When I'm not going to stoop to your level, I'm not going to be low vibrational. That's what I'm not going to do. Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. Now, at the end of the day, she's talking about stay high vibrational. When people are low vibrational, they want to drag you down in the mud with them. Well, I'm sorry. I haven't elevated and evolved that far yet because I'm petty. So when people go low, well, sometimes sadly, I go low too. I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes I go low. Okay? I just can't help myself. I'm human. That crazy bitch Eric said, you're working on it. Yes, that's what I'm doing, beloveds. I try to go high, but sometimes I get down in the dirt with them. And in fact, sometimes when they go low, I start doing the limbo. I can't help myself. And sometimes people have gone low and I've actually dug a hole, a tunnel. I'm just saying. So with that all being said, just remember that we are all a work in progress, okay? And just to make yourself feel better, just remember that all of us fall short of the glory of God. I'm just saying, okay? So it's not just you. We do the best we can do while we're here. That's all we can do. God knows we're not perfect, and we have to know that for ourselves too. Sometimes we're just going to be petty. Sometimes we're going to be nefarious. But if you're doing the work and being good most of the time, that's what counts. Okay? Every now and then, you're going to find yourself being a little low vibrational. And then when you catch yourself, say, wait a minute. Okay, now I got to just raise myself back on up. Let me just get up out of this mud because clearly I've gone too far. Okay, that's what you have to do. Sometimes you just have to catch yourself. That's all I'm saying. All right. So let me go back to the share. Mr. Hotel said, I'm low down sometimes, Shell. Oh, yes, I know you are. I know you are, Mr. Hotel. Don't make me bust you out. Yes, Mr. Hotel can be low down. Tia said they go low. So sometimes I do the limbo, not going to lie. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Juju laughing. Yes, sometimes we get low down and dirty. We can't help ourselves sometimes. We just try to do the best we can do, beloveds. That's all we can do. Like the Christians say in church, the Most High, God knows my heart. Okay, God knows my heart. Isn't that what we say when we do something so nefarious? And so spiritual healing can help when you help you see beyond the immediate pain, which is important when contemplating ending one's life. People who have undergone spiritual healing have learned to accept themselves for who they are. They've learned not to shame their flaws or inadequacies and to live in peace with the world around them. This perspective makes taking one's own life seem like an irrational choice rather than the only way out of unbearable suffering. Yeah, when you learn who you are and you know that things, can always get better. And just because you're down today doesn't mean you're going to stay down. And then you start saying, you know what? It could always be worse. I'm just going to keep on going. I have another chance tomorrow. Tomorrow's a whole nother day and I can do something different. Okay, stronger immune system. The immune system slows down and becomes less efficient as we grow older. The risk of infections increases, and therefore strong immune system boosters are needed to help ward off these infections. The cause of infection is not always a virus or bacteria. The cause is often disease in the body. This disease can be caused by emotional and physical stress, poor diet, environmental toxins, and many other factors. Spiritual healing is one way to address the root cause of an illness and restore balance and harmony back into your life. It helps you release negative emotions trapped in your body and creates a space for positivity. You can literally do these things. You see, by raising your vibrations, you can help yourself to stay healthy, youthful looking. If you notice that people who worry all the time, go around frowning, mad, and angry, they tend to get wrinkles in the face a whole lot quicker. They start to look old and worn and aged. Okay. When you stress yourself out, you raise your blood pressure, you elevate the heart rate sometimes, you do a myriad of things that cause you to be uneasy, hence the word dis-ease, because you cannot be at ease when you are stressed. Your body starts to release more of a hormone called cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Okay. So with that all being said, it helps you to gain belly fat. Too much belly fat, which is visceral fat, which is fat around the belly that in fact covers the organs, so much so this can lead to heart attacks. All this from being stressed. Pay attention. Spiritual healing brings strength and hope. Many people like to dig deep into themselves when they're going through a rough patch in their lives, especially when it comes to their problems in marriage or work-related issues. They try to find ways to fix the solution on their own. And sometimes, or fix the situation on their own. And sometimes they do, but they usually live in fear until they finally seek help. Those who turn to God always find the strength and courage to go through each day without fear and stress, as He gives them peace and hope that everything will be fine. It helps ease psychological needs. Spiritual healing can help ease the psychological needs of individuals who demand more from themselves than others. It helps them improve their self-esteem, build confidence, enabling them to face the outside world without feeling inferior. This is most applicable to terminal illness patients who have no hope for the future and live under stressed circumstances. Spiritual healers use hypnosis in their sessions to help patients develop positive thinking patterns, which subsequently helps dispel self-doubt and fear from the subconscious mind. So, hypnosis. This is what people who do hypnosis can use the sessions for. Well, if you learn the art of self-hypnosis, you can help yourself to do this. And it's not hard. It's really all about focusing your mind, believing that you can do it and achieve it, and then just, praying and asking the Most High to give you the strength. And then you just keep focusing and visualizing, and you manifest what you want. You have to hypnotize yourself. It's like you put yourself in a trance, and you keep saying something to yourself over and over and over. You keep reciting what you want to happen to yourself. And then you know what happens. And I'm going to tell you why hypnotism works. I'm going to tell you why. You all know when I told you that the subconscious mind basically controls 95% of our actions. The subconscious mind, very powerful, controls the cognitive biases, the thinking patterns, the behaviors, and all of those things, right? So hypnosis works, self-hypnosis specifically, because you keep saying something over and over and over to yourself. You know what happens when you do that? When you keep saying something over and over and over to yourself, you start programming it into your subconscious mind. That's what you do. And once it gets programmed into the subconscious mind, well, the only way to get it out of there is to deprogram it. So that's how you hypnotize yourself. That's how you practice self-hypnosis. You keep telling yourself whatever it is that you want, you keep saying it over and over and over. How long it takes for it to get there depends on you and how focused you are and how much you believe in it. But you absolutely can do it. Yes, that's right. Mr. Hotel said it gets embedded in your mind. Absolutely. You can do that very easily. I learned to do that in like a day. It was so easy for me. It actually works. Spiritual healing brings peace and calmness to your soul. After the experience of a traumatic event, joy and relaxation tend to escape your life. You may feel like there is always something or someone that needs your attention, and you cannot seem to find any time for yourself. Take time out of your day to gain peace by seeing a spiritual healer. That way, you can cope with life stresses much better and manage the neuroticism that comes with them. Let me tell you all something. And see, that's why it is very good for those of you who have memberships to this channel, because you're going to get spiritual healing here. You're going to get spiritual guidance here. You're going to get spiritual teachings here. You're going to get spiritual benefits here, because you're going to be privy to information that those who don't have memberships are not going to be able to get. You see, because you're paying for a service, I'm going to provide you with the products that you need to help and allow you to do the work. I don't have to do the work for you. I'm going to teach you to do the work. You're going to learn how to do these things for yourself. The bottom line is, the good thing about spiritual healing is that there are no adverse side effects. Okay, this therapy will heal you from any ailment in your body and mind, and it doesn't have any harmful effects at all. You can consume this treatment anytime, anywhere, and it will help you get rid of your issues. Spiritual healing works. It works well when other therapies fail to give results. Okay? And let me say this. Thank you, Lana. Lana says she enjoys this channel. Thank you, beloved. And that Crazy Beach Air says you do as well. Thank you. So here's the thing. I want you to understand that there are some things that you have to go to a physician for. There are some things that you have to go to a physician for. But some physicians are better than others. When you become spiritually in tune, you'll be able to decipher the difference. You see, some physicians are just in it for the money. They don't really care about their patients after they leave out of the office and they've gotten their check or the insurance is going to pay them. Some of them don't really care. But there are some physicians who love their jobs. They love their work. They love to help people. That's why they're in that line of work. And the Most High will send you in that direction. When you are spiritually in tune, you will have discernment. You will feel it in your gut. Who is right for you? Okay? Let me tell you all something. This is a true story. Once when I was sick years ago, I was supposed to go for a procedure at 6 o'clock in the morning. I had to have someone drop me off or bring me there and stay with me. I couldn't drive because they said they were going to sedate me. So I get to the hospital. Now, the funny thing is, the night before, before I fell asleep, something in my spirit said to me, when you get to the hospital tomorrow, before they put you to sleep, ask the doctor exactly what he's going to do. If you do not ask that doctor what he's going to do, when you wake up, you are going to regret it. So I kept that in mind. So when I got to the hospital, the nurse comes in there and the nurse is getting me prepped for the procedure. And I say to the nurse, I said, can you please send in the doctor? I said, I need to speak to him before I go in for my procedure. So the doctor comes in and I ask him, can you explain to me exactly what this procedure is going to entail? Like, what exactly are you going to do? So he tells me what he's going to do. Now, I have common sense and I use my critical thinking skills. I'm pretty smart. I'm not the smartest person, but I'm very smart. So when he told me what he was going to do, I knew that he didn't need to do that. I knew that he's obviously trying to do this procedure as well, just to get a bigger check from my insurance, because I have very good insurance. So I said to myself, when they first told me I need this procedure, they didn't tell me anything about all of that. He's adding on stuff. He's trying to do something extra because he wants to get more money. And I knew what my spirit had told me the night before. So I told him, I said, no, I'm not going to allow you to do that. That was not part of what I discussed. That's not what I was told in the office. I'm not going to do it. You see, he had not told me about it because he figured I might reject it, I'm sure, but also because he thought once I came in there, because most people don't ask questions. You see, most people do not question their physicians. And why is that, you ask? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because most people think that the physician knows everything, that they're just going to take their word. Honey, nobody knows everything except for the Most High. So whenever a doctor tells me something, I always have questions. And if that doctor doesn't tell me what I want to know, I go and get a second opinion. So I told the doctor, I'm not going to allow you to do that. Sorry, I don't think I need that. And that wasn't ever mentioned before. And said, no, thank you. He says, well, if you're not going to do it, then I'm going to have to cancel your procedure. I said, that's fine, cancel it. And I called my ride and I told them to come back and pick me up. And they were like, your procedure's not over that quick, is it? And I said, no, I'm not having it. I'll explain later. So they came and got me. So I went home and I prayed about it. And I called another doctor for the same procedure. You know, I had them book me for the same procedure. And so I prayed about it. And when I asked the Most High to give me a sign if this is the right doctor to do this procedure. When I got to the hospital the next time, which was like a week later, you know how I knew this was the right doctor for me? His name is Dr. Schaefer, I believe was his name. How I knew this was the right doctor that the Most High sent specifically for me is because when I was in there and I had gotten prepped for surgery. Now remember, with the first doctor, I had to ask the nurse to go and get the doctor so that I can question him because I had concerns. But with this doctor, I was sitting there after I got prepped, or I was laying there rather. And so the nurse comes in and says to me, Miss Shakur, do you mind if the doctor comes in to speak with you for a moment before the procedure? And I said, no, that's fine. The doctor comes in and you know what the doctor said? Because remember, I asked the Most High to send me a sign that this is the right doctor. The doctor comes in and he says to me, he says, listen, before I do any type of procedure on any of my patients, I always like to pray with them. I pray that the Most High guides my hands and guides my mind and brain so that I do everything perfectly, so that I do everything in the right way so that it's the best possible outcome. Is it okay if I pray with you? Honey, I knew that was the Most High letting me know this is the doctor for you because he mentioned the Most High. He asked if he could pray with me. A doctor never asked me that. And I said, yes, of course. He sat down on the side of my bed. He took my hand in his and he bowed his head and we prayed. And everything turned out fine. After that procedure, I sent that doctor a gift basket, a thank you card, and everything. Because I knew that was a doctor who loved his patients, who cared about his work. He wasn't in it for a check, just like I'm not in it for a check. He was in it because he had kindness and love in his heart, and he had a need and a want and a desire to help other people. So that's how I knew. That is still my doctor to this day. Okay? That is still my doctor till this day. So I said all that to say this. There are some people who will act as though they've come to heal you, who will act as though they've come to help make it all better, but they really have only come to get your money. They don't care about you after you leave. If you have any complaints, if anything goes wrong, they don't care. They've already gotten their check. Now they'll just brush you off and send you to voicemail or have you speak to their nurse. That's what they'll do. So with that all being said, I want to show you some clips of a person who leads people in the wrong direction, clearly is only in it for the money, does not care about people's spiritual well-being or health or any of those things, just tells numerous of lies and grifts. Pay attention. Now let me cue this. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, before I share this, I have to make sure there's not music playing, because some of this stuff has music playing in it. Lord have mercy. Y'all try not to laugh too hard. Try not to laugh too hard, okay? Hold on. Because some of this is just straight foolishness. Okay, I'm going to be fast forwarding. Claudette said, it must be wig. Claudette, you're so nefarious. Pay attention. Here we go. You guessed it.
Talking about the RNA messenger, talking about the vaccines, talking about how it's redirecting DNA.
Hold on, beloveds. Let me get to the exact mark. I think this is it here. Hold on.
A little more time, because I haven't even done the activation. I got more to share.
Now, y'all be careful, because you guys be careful, because Wig is about to activate these people's DNA in this webinar. And so as she's doing her little spell or incantation or whatnot, maybe your DNA will be activated also. So just please pay attention. Miss Hotel said, look at the devil on the screen.
I have more to share. I got more to share. I have quoted this book from Dr. Wesley that's called Understanding the Assault on the Black Man, Black Manhood, and Black Masculinity many, many times, because this book has so many references in it, and it's talking about really the assault on us.
Speed up a little bit.
And between the community of their God, the ritual sacrifice of Black citizens. She's going to set the link up. We're going to send out an email to let you know, because you're only going to have a few days to look at it, but we're going to send you the link so you can see the replay. Do not record it, family. Watch this. But we're going to make it available for you for a few more days. You're going to get an email, so be looking for that.
Hold on, y'all. I got to turn this off so y'all can see this. Hold on. I got to turn off the volume. I want y'all to see Wig when she gets crunk. While she's sitting up and telling these people all these lies, she got Kanye West playing in the background, Jesus Walks. Now, I can't play it because of copyright, but I want y'all to see it. Wig is busy with it, honey. Do it, Wig. Do it. Do it, Wig. Get down. Wig is dancing to Kanye West, Jesus Walks. I wish y'all could hear it, because she is all into it. Now, this is part of her spiritual healing for people. I want you to pay attention. She thinks if she plays music that has the word Jesus in it, that's going to activate people's DNA. Pay attention. Miss Hotel said, drop down, get your eagle on, Wig. She's activating that DNA, honey. Please. Look at her.
Ashe, so it is, so it is, so it is. Amen, amen, amen. I'm seeing a lot of y'all saying you got chills. Some of you saying you crying. Ashe, and so it is. They're activating. I'm already getting testimonies of people.
See, I told y'all, we ain't sitting up here talking about she done activated people's DNA with Jesus Walks on it. And then I want you to pay attention. She said, I'm seeing some of y'all saying you're crying. What she didn't realize is that they were crying, laughing. Pay attention. But let me get back to it.
that's messaging saying they've had dreams of ancestors from many, many years ago and stuff. Family, it's not going to be an overnight thing, but I'm telling you, they're at work and our intentions are activating them. They summoned me to have this with you. The reason the world signed up for this is because this is a vibration that they're feeling. And if
the only ones that summoned her were demons, pay attention.
we activate this energy and this power and develop a relationship with them with our altar, it's going to help you to make sense. It's going to make your life make sense. And it's going to give us the power to overcome every force. Your cells are the book that's already in you. Your cells is how you know what you don't know, but you're activating it.
I had to stop the share right there for a second. Wig said, your cells is how you know what you don't know. Wig, I'm going to need you to make that make sense. How do you know what you don't know? Hold on, let me go back to Wig, honey, because she is getting it all popping. Pay attention. This is all so hilarious, honey. I cannot.
We're activating it. Job chapter 32. Job 32. Remember, whenever I'm quoting scripture from a book of magic. Remember, the scripture, many of the things that are in scripture was borrowed from ancient Kemetic texts, right? They were stolen from Black spiritual practices. And they kept the true meanings of a lot of this hidden from us. Job 32 verse 8 says,